Welcome back to the Easy VC Brief. I'm your host, Max von Polnitz, and this is your weekly espresso shot to deep tech venture capital news. This week, no semiconductors, no biotech. We're going full petrol head because Ferrari just unveiled its first ever electric vehicle, the Luce, and I have opinions, many opinions. And yes, I have a model Ferrari behind me, and maybe one day I'll be able to afford one in my actual garage. That being said, my LinkedIn has been full of comments about this car, but I think a lot of people are also missing the point. So I figured I would do my own analysis. But before we get there, let's talk about the house that Enzo built, because context does matter. Enzo Ferrari didn't set out to build road cars. He set out to go racing, full stop. The man founded Scuderia Ferrari in 1929 as a racing team. He only started selling road cars in 1947 because, and I love this, he needed the money to fund his motorsport addiction. If a startup pitches me that, I am in. The Ferrari you park in your garage was essentially Enzo's way of making you subsidize his Formula One habit. He passed away in 1988, but the machine he built has never really stopped. And here's something people don't fully appreciate. Ferrari releases roughly 4 to 5 entirely new or significantly updated models every single year. For a company that sells fewer than 14,000 cars annually, that is a staggering rate of innovation. Most companies their size are lucky to refresh one platform a decade. And if you want to go deep on all of this, by the way, there is an absolutely fantastic podcast called Acquired. Shout out to those guys. Incredible deep dives on the history, the models, the racing. Go subscribe after this. It's worth it. Okay, so let's get back to the main story, the Luce, Italian for light. Here are the numbers because the numbers are genuinely absurd and we want to talk about the tech. 1,050 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds, top speed of 310 kilometers per hour, range of 530 kilometers on a single charge. I'm doing kilometers because it's Ferrari and it's in Europe. 4 electric motors, 1 on each wheel, 5 seats, 4 doors. Now, when I say 5 seats and 4 doors, I want you to sit with that for a second. This is Ferrari, the company whose founder treated customer comfort as an afterthought and whose smallest previous car could barely fit 2 adults and a frickin' sandwich. The cognitive dissonance of seeing this car for the first time is real, however. Let me run you through Electric. Electric had a journalist fly overnight to Rome for the reveal, and his reaction was basically, it took me a few seconds to figure out I was looking at a Ferrari. If it weren't for the prancing horse badge, he doubted 1 in 3 people would guess the brand correctly. Now look, I'm going to be honest. The exterior design, not my favorite. It looks like the designers never fully committed, and they compromised somewhere in the middle, which in cars, as in life, usually makes nobody happy. But here's where it gets interesting, and where my grumpy exterior review has to soften. Because Ferrari didn't actually make this car look like this by accident. They hired Johnny Ives. Yeah, Johnny Ive, the man who designed the iPhone, the iMac, the AirPods. Basically, the entire visual language of the last 25 years of consumer technology. Also, further context, this project was greenlit probably somewhere around 2018, 2019, maybe even earlier. Think about the world Ferrari was operating in back then. Tesla was still a punchline to half the auto industry. Porsche hadn't even launched the Taycan yet. And the idea of a luxury supercar brand going fully electric was basically heresy. And yet Ferrari's leadership looked at the road ahead and said, we need to do this and we need to bring in someone from completely outside the automotive world to help us reimagine what it even means. That is genuinely bold call. Easy to say no now, but very hard to say back then. And they didn't just make a decision. They built a whole new factory, the E building. 42,500 square meters of state-of-the-art production space in Maranello, designed by award-winning Italian architect Mario Cucinelli, opened with a ceremony attended by the president of Italy himself. Cost $214 million. 2 years to build, over 300 dedicated employees, solar panels on the roof, rainwater recycling, renewable energy throughout. Now, here's where I want to take a step back from the design debate and actually think about this like a VC for a second. Because the choice to make the Luce a 4-door, 5-seat, near SUV family vehicle is not just aesthetic, it's a business strategy. Let me ask you something. who is actually going to buy an electric Ferrari? Think about it. Your hardcore Ferrari customer, the petrol head, the collector, that person wants a new turbocharged V8. They want drama. Ferrari knows this. Also, nobody's buying the Luce for the acceleration figures. Tesla is faster. There are plenty of Chinese EV supercars that can touch on 2 seconds. Instead, look what they did. By going 4-door, 5-seat family hauler, Ferrari essentially invented a new category within their own universe. This car isn't for the Ferrari guy. It's for the first-time Ferrari buyer who would never have considered the brand before. Ferrari isn't eating their own supercar sales with the Luce. They're actually expanding the total addressable market for Ferrari ownership. TAM, it's a VC noun. Ferrari behaved more like a startup than an incumbent. They made a conviction bet to commit $214 million and a brand new factory to prove it. That's either visionary or it's insane. Whatever I think of the styling, Ferrari absolutely did not phone in the engineering. And as a deep tech investor and one that invested in battery innovation, it's impressive to learn about the tech and the specs of this car. They built an entirely bespoke 880-volt platform from scratch in-house in Maranello. The motor uses a Hallback array configuration, a Formula One rotor design that maximizes torque density while cutting weight. And this is the first time it's ever appeared in a production road car. The battery pack hits 195 watt-hours per kilogram, which Ferrari claims is the highest energy density of any production EV in the world, beating the Rimac. They also solved one of my biggest pet peeves about electric cars, the sound, or total absence of it. Rather than synthesizing fake engine noise through speakers like a ringtone, Ferrari engineered a patented system that captures actual physical vibrations from the electric axles via precision accelerometers. Think of it like an electric guitar pickup for your powertrain. What you hear is literally what the car is doing. Oh, and don't forget the 60 plus new patents. 5 years of development, all built in a house for this car. And then there's the interior. And this is where I set my cynicism down completely because it is genuinely, properly spectacular. Johnny Ive and Mark Newsom's brief was to blend analog and digital, automotive and aeronautic. The result is somehow both retro and futuristic at once. Beautiful physical knobs and dials, real tactical controls. I absolutely love it. So where does that leave us? Ferrari spent 5 years, built a $200 million factory, filed 60 plus patents, recruited the guy who designed the iPhone, derived technology from Formula One and ocean racing yachts, and produced what is arguably the most technically impressive electric vehicle ever put into production. And then they put it in a body that just seems confusing. The tech is real, the interior is glorious. I'm really curious to see if this is just the start of a new platform. And the product will continue to improve and innovate over time. That said, Enzo would have hated it. I'm Max von Polnitz. This has been the Easy VC Brief, something a little bit different. Go start your week. And if you're shopping for a family car, I hear there's a lovely one available in Rosso Corsa for 550,000 euros. Plenty of room for the kids. See you next Thursday. Keep building. I hope you enjoyed this slightly different one.